Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 53.
Season 2, episode 3.
What do y'all think we should do? Should we stick with episode number, or should we do seasons and episodes?
I think we do it like The Walking Dead. Season 2, episode 3. Damn it.
Or we just do it like Talking Lead, season episode 53.
I think you should be the first Talking Lead and not the next Walking Dead.
Oh.
Nobody asked you.
Actually, Zeke is nobody, so I'll give you that.
Ouch! If y'all don't recognize the voice on the other line, that would be Mr. Jared Markle. And we also have Mr. Paul Markle with us, too.
Yes, indeed, we do.
We're doing
Colab. Do they have us with them?
Or, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like this weird metaphysical question. Are we with y'all, or are y'all with us?
I think we're all together.
There we go.
Good answer. Good answer. I like that answer.
We're doing season 2 of Colab 1.
0.5.
Yeah.
So, do y'all want to talk about why we're collaborating again?
Because that's what the fans want. That's what we give them.
They want the reason why we're collaborating?
No, you hippie. They want
They
another collaboration. That's what it is.
Okay.
It was such a hit the first time that we decided to do it again.
Very true. We all went down to Las Vegas for this little convention thing called SHOT Show 2014, and had a pretty darn good time. That's what we did this week in Guns. What'd y'all think? How'd y'all like it? Y'all been before. This was our first one.
I enjoyed it. It was. I think I've been going for 6 years now. Maybe 7. I don't know. I'm getting old, is what I'm saying. And it kind of falls around my birthday every year. My birthday's January 11th, so it's kind of nice. I get to go to Vegas for SHOT Show. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun, and so I enjoyed it.
And you got a nice birthday cigar too.
Yeah, I did. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
That was our first night there. We got to hang out with you guys in the what was it called again?
At Casa Fuente.
Casa Fuente. It's a cigar bar there in the shops.
Innovation?
No, shops connected to Caesars.
Yes.
It's the Forum shops.
Yeah.
On the first floor, so check them out. Tell them that Student of the Gun sent you.
And you introduced us to a couple cool guys there, too.
Yep, our buddy Court Graham. Buddy Court Graham was there, and we had some mojitos. I don't know what you guys had. What did you have? You had scotch,
I had scotch, yeah. I've got the same scotch in my cup right now, too.
I had water.
And FYI, I'm not armed. I'm drinking, and I'm not armed. The beer light is on.
So yeah, we did. We started off our week on a relaxing note, because once it gets going, it never stops. It goes basically for 4 days straight with nonstop. So that's our new tradition. Well, it's your new tradition, Talking Lead guys.
Heck yeah!
It's been Jared and my tradition for going on. I think this is the 4th year that we've done that, huh, Jared?
It is a very good tradition. It's a nice kind of relaxer before we start the storm every week or every year.
Yeah, and talk about storm. A storm it definitely was, because me and Left Hand realized we're going to have to train before next year.
Dude, I trained. I was in the gym
high
every
altitudes
day.
And run long runs.
No, there's
stuff.
nothing can prepare you for this. It's just unpreparable for. You just got to do it once, and then you kind of going to be ready for it the next time. You hope you are anyway.
You say that, but let me tell you.
Tell me.
Every Friday for the last 12, 13, 14 years, whatever, every Friday afternoon of SHOT, I get the same wrung out feeling. The same.
Just beat.
It's that same unmistakable, I'm exhausted and I cannot speak another intelligent sentence. It's time to go.
That hit us on Wednesday.
Yes. About halfway through that day.
Yeah. We got hammered with that on Wednesday.
It's funny because all my friends are like, "Oh, you're going to Vegas. It's going to be fun. And you're going to party." And I'm like, "Yeah, no." You go and you work, and then you work, and then you go to bed, and then
it's not the remaking of The Hangover. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get our buddy Savoy Leather to make me a little Purell holster, so I can carry it around next year. Because I got sick. When did I get sick?
Did?
Wednesday night?
You were pretty much sick when we landed, dude.
Yeah. Wednesday night, I was just fried. And we tried to go back and rest, and I told Left Hand, "You go out. I'm staying in."
And then my legs cramped up. Was it Wednesday night?
Yeah, it was Wednesday night. Same night I got sick.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, cool, I'll go out and represent. And we sat down for a minute, and then my legs cramped up, and I couldn't freaking move.
Aren't you running this Tough Mudder?
Oh, I'll be ready for that. I didn't realize. I know I have to train for that.
I'm telling you, I have been working out every day for the last 3-4 months, and it still didn't prepare me for this. So the Tough Mudder, I guess I can just go ahead and write it off.
I think they said that the average attendee, the average person at SHOT, walks somewhere between 9 and 12 miles a day.
We did more than that.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, we did more than that.
Yeah.
We had to be above average because we were lost half the time.
And we didn't schedule right. We just thought, okay, NRA was not bad. Hey, we could do this. Oh, gosh. This thing was at least 5 times bigger than NRA, if not bigger than that. And we had scheduled just based off contacting people, not looking at a map saying, okay, this one is on the 3rd floor at the far end, and the other one is in the basement at the far end, and running between all that.
We had no way of knowing the magnitude of this, but not only that, but the weather there too. I mean, I was drinking water like it was going out of style, and I was still dehydrated.
Yep, yes, sir.
They had a cool little app this year. They had one last year, but it wasn't very good. But the one this year was actually very helpful. They had all the booth numbers on there. They had a little map thing where you could map your little route and all that kind of stuff.
And you could zoom in on the booth and it told you who it was.
Yeah. The only problem with that is our routes were upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. So, yeah. Well, we learned from that mistake. We'll do better next year.
Well, let's take everybody through kind of a logical day-by-day flow of what we did.
Okay. And we'll talk about guns because I don't think we talked about a single gun yet, have we? Except for it being SHOT Show.
That's true.
Well, let's do something else first. You want to do our jackwagon train first? And then we'll kind of dig in?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Let's do the jackwagon because I think we're going to have a trifecta today. Yeah.
Have a jackwagon and threesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I think Jared's got one too.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the talking lead jackwagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
So our first one, Left Hand's got, and everybody's heard about this one by now, if you're anywhere near social media.
Yeah, and I don't think this one's going to be a surprise to anybody. It's the Democratic jackwagon from California, the Kevin De Leon, and his little rant he went on about
jackwagon.
Yeah, De Le Jackwagon, the ghost gun.
Yeah,
there's already a shirt out on it.
Oh, there's like 5 shirts already on Instagram.
Did you see 1776's shirt? It was awesome. In case anybody hasn't seen what it is, basically what this guy did was he had this huge press conference, and he's a big anti-gun guy, obviously, and he grabs this short barrel rifle, SBR, and he says, "This is a ghost gun." And Paul, you probably can talk more political about this than I can.
Well, it's got a 30 caliber clip, which is impressive.
Not only does it have a 30 caliber clip, but later he says it can empty 30 clips of magazine in half a second.
30 clips of magazine.
30 magazines of clip. 30 magazines of clip.
30 magazines of clip. Okay, I got to make sure it's right there.
In half a second.
In half a second.
Half a second.
And half a second. But
as dangerous as that gun was, I can't believe it didn't kill him while he was holding it.
Oh, I know.
Well, did you see how timid he was? I mean, he was kind of holding it away from him like it was a stinky turd,
It was going to turn on him, and it was going to get him right there in the middle of the press conference.
It was going to take him down and put him in a chokehold. But what he's talking about was those unserial numbered lowers that people can.
Well, actually, the bill he introduced was it was the the 3D printer bill.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's going to be illegal. It was going to be against federal law to. Apparently, they want a $200 tax stamp on all 3D printers now, so you have to register them.
Yeah, it was that, and then he was showing the unmilled lower receivers that you can buy, and then finish them off yourself. He was holding up one of those.
The blocks of aluminum?
Yeah, the blocks of aluminum. Exactly.
Yeah, You should not be trusted with a block of aluminum.
They're dangerous. They're evil.
They're Casper the Ghost guns.
So
he's our first jackwagon.
First jackwagon. The jagwagon? Wow, I can't even talk.
Lay off the bourbon.
Yeah, scotch.
Are you drinking scotch? I'm drinking bourbon.
Oh, okay. So the second jackwagon, Paul, Jared, I know you said you saw it. Paul, have you seen Lone Survivor yet?
Yeah, I've seen Lone Survivor.
All right. So I'm at the theater.
I've seen it 3 times already.
Three times already?
I went and watched it 3 times. Yeah.
So I'm at the theater Sunday, and I went and saw it. And at the end of the movie, I'm not giving away, there's no spoiler alert here. At the end of the movie, they do a tribute to all the fallen seals.
Just in case you don't want to get spoiled.
Right.
Turn your radio down.
At the end of the movie, they do a tribute to all the fallen seals. And they go through pictures of them and everything else. And 5 people stood up like it was the friggin' credits and walked out, even though it was obvious this was a tribute. They had a song and everything, and they walked out like it was the friggin' credits. And I'm throwing them on the jackwagon train because I was ready to jump up and form tackle them into the wall. I mean, I felt no different than when people are yapping during the national anthem. So I was pretty ticked off about that. They need to show some respect. So if you're in a theater and you see some jackwagons do that, educate them. Tell them to sit down.
And I've got to say, the 3 times that I watched it, didn't have that problem.
Not one single person?
Not one single person did that. Thank goodness. Awesome. And it was a packed theater, too.
I've only heard, I posted it on Instagram, and I heard the majority of the people that responded to us said the same thing, that most of them sat down. But there was still a little sprinkling of people that said 1 or 2 got up.
I've got to add another person to that category. Okay. It's the over-enthusiastic movie watcher that yells at the screen during the movie. And especially in today's environment, you're expecting trouble. I mean, if you're like us, you're on the lookout, especially in theaters, and then all of a sudden there's this outburst over to your left. Well, I'm kind of reaching to my side at that point. So, just be careful what you're yelling and shouting out in movie theaters. Tell us about your jackwagon.
Yeah, our jackwagon has to do with the Mark Wahlberg Lone Survival film as well. And this dude, apparently he was a retired police officer. Apparently he didn't like when somebody was texting on their phone during the previews, which I don't like that either.
During the previews?
But I wouldn't shoot somebody over it.
During the previews?
So we're gonna name this dude Mr. Reeves the jackwagon.
You have the story open, Jared?
Be the trifecta of the jackwagons.
Give us a little background on the story, what happened, in case somebody hadn't heard.
Was that in Florida?
That was in Florida.
Yeah, it was a retired police officer, and apparently he didn't just pull his Roscoe out and shoot him immediately. There was an argument.
I think she threw popcorn at him too.
Well, apparently, he told him to put the phone away, and they told him to stick it or something along those lines. And so, lesson learned: put your phone away when the movie starts, because it's just good manners.
Yes,
not really
because you'll get shot.
I don't approve of the former police officer's behavior, but this is 2014. It's not like we just got cell phones, yesterday. And I think, this particular thing aside, it's like we become like a bunch of like spastic ADD squirrels in America.
Where?
Jared, when we were in the forum shops, we walked by that coffee bar, and what was every single person? There was like an entire row. Was it 8, 9, 12 people?
Yeah, they were all staring at their phone.
It was like it was choreographed. Every single person was sitting in a stool at this coffee bar, and they all had their heads down. Like they'd been told to do it. It was like it was choreographed. And
it's like a flash mob of phone users.
Yeah, we have to use phones. We've got that. But, folks, get your heads out of your fannies. Get your heads up. Pay attention to what's going on around you.
You lose situational awareness.
It just dumbfounds me. Yeah. And it's not getting any better. And I don't like the government stepping in and saying you're not allowed to use your phone here, and you're not. That's like baby stuff. But if we can't police ourselves and we can't act like adults, I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about adults that walk around with their heads down and their phones everywhere. It's bad. It's bad juju, folks. Don't do it. Or at the very least, when you start to do it, stop and realize you're like, you know what? I probably should lift my head up and pay attention to what's going on around me. At least once in a while. Yeah, it would take effort. We actually, Jared and I, we listened to the Glenn Beck show on podcast when we were driving, And he had a fantastic interview with Marcus Luttrell. He talked to him for 30, 40 minutes or so on his show, didn't he, Jared?
Yeah, it was a long time. He kind of got me hyped up to watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, hence the point. But in the theater that we were in, it was like a church service. People didn't get up. People didn't make noise. People didn't do it. Everyone just sat quietly and watched the movie, beginning to end.
Amazing movie, too.
Yeah.
Well, you know that Left Hand and I talked to Marcus Luttrell for about 30, 45 minutes, too. We just were dumbasses and didn't know who the hell he was.
Yeah, in person in Dallas.
He's a humble dude.
Oh, he's an awesome guy. Awesome guy. And they were telling us, hey, that's Marcus. So we were like, hey, Marcus, how's it going? But we didn't hear the Luttrell part. And we talked to him 30, 40 minutes, about Carrick Brain Centers and some of the stuff that they were doing. Went back to the hotel, and I typed
and his dog was there, too, which was a dead giveaway.
Yeah, his dog was there, too. And we go back to the hotel room, type up his name, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, that was Marcus Luttrell. So that was interesting. But we're going to try to get him on the show sometime soon, too.
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's been going on here the last couple of weeks. Well, first of all, it's the number one movie in the nation. So people have got to jump all over it. And what I just find, I'm going to say it because I got a microphone. I find this maddening. Are people really that functionally retarded? They're writing stories about, the movie wasn't exact. Really? You mean the 1 hour and 45-minute movie wasn't the exact as the book? How does that happen? You're like, that particular one, really? You mean they altered it for the movie? I'm shocked.
What movie is ever like the book?
Yeah. It's like, Luttrell, he broke his back. And he actually had to crawl dragging himself with his upper body and his arms to get to that village. And he even said in the interview, he's like, look, the people at home in the audience, they don't want to sit there in the theater and watch me crawl across the thing for an hour and a half.
Right.
7 miles. That's why they altered it to a broken leg. Yeah. But it doesn't take away from the story. And that's what they're trying to do. Because liberals and do-gooders and hippie Democrats, they hate that the American public might actually hold these guys up as heroes. They hate it and they despise it. And so they're doing everything they can to not come out directly and discredit it because they know they'd get eaten alive. But these little side shots, these little, it wasn't 100% accurate and, yada, 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 just to try and take away from it because, let's face it, you can't allow the American populace to emulate military heroes when you're trying to enslave them, when you're trying to convince them that they're not good enough, that they have to just shut up and sit down and be good little slaves. And when they see these heroes and they get emboldened, you can't have that. So all these sycophants in the media putting these stories out now about, this particular aspect wasn't true. Jared, was it that chick from California? Refresh my memory, brother.
Might have been New York.
Was it New York? I don't know.
I don't remember.
What was her deal?
Some writer chick wrote this piece about the author inflated the number of Taliban from 10 from 10 to 200. There was really only 10 there, and
she knows.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because she was there.
Because it was just a glorifying war and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what movie she was watching. But
what was glorified about it? Oh, my God.
Yeah, but it was one of these, L.A. or New York Times or what have you, left-wingers that, and I don't even think she saw the movie. Someone probably saw it, told her about it, and she wrote the story.
It would be beneath her to watch it.
Obviously.
Actually read the book, Well,
it was an amazing movie.
It's
very, very good movie.
$38.5 million, I think, is what it's brought in.
Wow.
So far.
For the opening weekend or so far?
The opening weekend.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And one thing that Glenn was saying on his show is he says that the more people that watch this movie, the more Marcus Luttrell is going to be relieved because that's his story being told,
Yeah. He was in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you see him?
Yep, in the briefing. In the mission briefing.
In the briefing, and then when they're at the picnic table giving each other hell.
He was in the helicopter, too.
With the beanie. He's the one that dumped over the milk as they got up from the picnic table.
Cleaned us up.
Yeah. And then
Spoiler
he was in the helicopter that crashed too.
Didn't crash; it got blown up.
Well,
I didn't know he was the milk dude.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That was him. But that was definitely a good movie.
There's a great HBO.
The documentary on it.
Well, they got like a behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yeah, with the director and how he kind of walks with them in. They're filming the majority of it in New Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Luttrell is with Wahlberg and all the guys playing the SEALs through all those scenes they're filming, and he's showing, no, I did it like this, and no, this was actually happening like this.
Right.
So as far as
Just keeping them on point through the whole thing.
It's
but not only that, but they go behind the scenes on the stunts. Where they're all right. It's a spoiler alert. So if you don't want to hear about the movie, turn your radios down right now. But when they're falling down the mountain,
oh my gosh,
they show the stunt, and the stunt guys are actually doing that. It's unbelievable.
Well, Wahlberg has come out and said that was the most humbling experience he's ever had being an actor. Just learning what he went through and all the stuff that they did.
So far, Mark Wahlberg has impressed me.
Me too. He's becoming one of my favorite actors, especially after his...
Well, he got chastised for being outspoken about the film, too, during like one of the premieres.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear about that?
Well, I saw where he went back at Tom Cruise and he like went off on him in one of the interviews. Because he was like, look, if you think being an actor and studying lines and doing some stunts is harder than what a Navy SEAL does, he goes, you're full of shit.
Wait, Tom who?
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, good. But yeah, he just
Jack
blasted
Reacher.
him.
Jack Reacher.
He blasted him. I was like, heck yeah, man.
Yeah, well, that's basically what he got chastised for. Is I don't know if that was part of his rant, is going off on that, but I mean, he just basically went off on the media too. He was like, "Amen, brother."
So
let's go around the table.
Round table,
starting with Zeke.
Okay.
What did you see at the show that got you excited?
That got me excited. Oh gosh, do I have to narrow it down to one, or can I give a list?
Just do one initially.
Do your top.
Okay, all right. Initially, the one I want to say I'm torn on because it scares me too, and I'll talk about that later. But I think the most pleasant surprised I was, which we're going to get blasted for this because everybody's like, oh, why 380 instead of a single stack 9? That Glock 42 shot brilliantly. It was smooth. It was light. Very little recoil, and the trigger being as light as it was and not your typical pocket pistol 20-pound trigger, I really, really liked it. I guess that was my one. I want to talk about more, but...
Who's next?
Left hand.
Oh, I get to go next, huh?
You're number 2.
Well, I think the most impressive thing that I saw was the tracking point.
Yeah, that's the one.
You guys saw that, right?
Tracking point scope.
Yeah, the tracking point system, it's integrated into your rifle system that you're shooting. The ones that they had set up at the range were the 300 Win Mag and a 338 Lapua. But they said they pretty much could do anything, I think. So, but basically what that thing is it's an electronic targeting system.
It's a jet fighter heads-up display.
I mean, it's awesome. It's got wireless, so it can be what's the word I'm saying?
Transmitted
to your laptop, so you have a spotter over there seeing the exact same thing, and you can record it too, that you're seeing through your scope. And you basically
that is pretty cool.
You paint your target, you set it, it resets, gives you your crosshairs. You pull the trigger, which doesn't fire the bullet. The bullet's not released until you get the crosshairs over where you painted the target. And you could be all around that target, but until the crosshair hits the dot, the bullet's not going to be sent down range. But as soon as you hit that, boom, it's gone. It sends it.
And that was the one I was talking about that I wanted to say first, but it scares me because...
Why does it scare you?
Well, because, okay, you shoot it, and you're like, that is the coolest, most badass thing I've ever seen. I just made 1,000-yard shot, my first
Yeah,
shot.
and oh, by the way, they were both our shots. I shot the 300, Zeke shot the 338 Lapua. They were both 1,000 yards, first shot, dead on, bang.
Yeah.
Did that without a tracking point.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
I bet you didn't do it as quick as we did it. But the thing about it is, I mean, it's a computer, and it's got all your data in there. It takes in the curvature of the earth. It takes in the temperature. It takes in the elevation. All you do is put in the wind, and then it calculates everything for you, and you don't have to make any adjustments. It already does it for you. But what scares you?
I don't know. I
that
think,
shouldn't scare you.
Well,
now you're starting to sound like these freaking liberal gun grabbers. What scares you about that?
Is it a ghost gun?
Yeah, it's a ghost gun that can empty 5 million rounds in 0.2 seconds.
At 1,000 yards.
How much is the tracking point system run?
$20,000 on the 300 and the 338, but only 1,000. Yeah, 20. Yeah, he said around 20,000.
20 grand for the one we shot. The AR one is going to be the cheaper one, and it's going to be 9 to 12.
He said about 8 is what it's going to be.
Okay, well, if you got a 12-year-old who come up with $8,000, then we should be concerned.
So my question is about that is, okay, so you have to you set the dot where you want the bullet to be released, right?
Right.
What if you set the dot and then your target changes and you don't want it to release there? How do you undo that?
There's a reset button.
Okay.
You reset it.
But
I didn't get to shoot it, so I don't know.
If it tags your target and it's a moving target, it
follows your target too.
Your target.
Oh, so you could tag
tag a deer.
Right.
I could tag a deer.
It calculates a lead.
And that's cool.
And it just follows it, and then you just when you get to the point where you want to put the target down, you just put the crosshairs over the dot. Boom! It sends it.
Did you just call me a liberal gun grabber?
I said you're starting to sound like him. It scares you. I mean, you big. What are you afraid of? Jeez.
No, I'm just never mind.
Seriously, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, I'm not like fear, but it's just kind of freaky that it's like so simple.
Well, then rephrase it.
Okay, I'm freakied.
You're freakied.
You're freaky?
Yes, I'm freaky.
I mean, there's a lot more that goes into that system than just picking a gun up and pulling a trigger. So, I mean, I don't see the problem.
No, I didn't say there was a problem with it. It's just
boys don't fight.
No, because I think it's there is another thing that. Okay, let me not say scared. Okay, the dumbing down of America.
Yeah,
everything is getting so freaking easy right now, and kids don't have to educate themselves and read because you can find everything on the internet. Well, our snipers are some of the best snipers in the world because they're trained with the windage and the elevation and the curvature of the earth, and now they're not even going to have to do that anymore. That's kind of scary in a way too. The dumbing down of our top-notch badass snipers, where all they got to do is tag something and pull a trigger.
That was a better reason.
No, the fight was fun.
Oh, we had our first fight of the year.
Oh.
That's true. No, you told me to shut up.
All right, let's go to
another episode.
Jared now.
All right, the coolest thing I saw at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas was a kilted man punching Jamie Foxx in the face.
What? Oh, wait, I did see that picture.
I missed that.
Okay, not really. But okay, seriously, this pink gun that Duracoat made for Zeke.
Oh, come on, dude.
All right, for real. The Century Arms actually has this pretty cool. They're calling it the Micro. I think it's the.
It's the C39 Micro.
The C39 Micro, yeah. And it's pretty cool. You guys should definitely look into that. It's basically like the length of maybe 2 Glocks, and it shoots the AK round 7.62 by 39. It's pretty cool.
It's part of Century's 100% made in the USA AK models. Mm-hmm. It's got a milled receiver, and just like their other made in the USA. But it does have a shorter barrel. It has a wooden, like kind of a hand grip. But all the controls are standard AK, and it feeds standard AK magazines. It's enough to make Chuck Schumer and Andrew Cuomo tinkle down their legs collectively.
Yeah, and
is it a pistol or is it a?
Yeah, it's a pistol.
Okay, is it like the mini Draco or what are they calling it?
Yeah, it's like it's like a like your Dracos or your Crinks, but it's brand new. It's made in the USA. It's from Century Arms, and they're calling it the C39 Micro.
Oh, okay, C39 Micro. We missed that one.
And what about you, Paul?
Well, I thought Jared was going to jump on this one, but we were over at the Kel-Tec.
Instagram, you would have saw it, but
That's right. It's true. If you followed our Instagram, you'd see all these cool pictures.
I follow it, and I like it often.
We went over to the Kel-Tec booth, and they have people have been asking for it, so they did it. they've got a bullpup in 5.56 or 2.23 now called the M43, and it uses standard AR-15 magazines, and it is a completely ambidextrous bullpup. A lot of bullpup rifles were set up originally just for right-handers, the ejection ports, by your cheek, and so lefties couldn't use them, or they had to reconfigure them. See, and a lot of the ones now,
shoot them and burn their face.
Yeah, they have to. You're like, well, you can take the gun apart, reconfigure it for a lefty, but what's really cool about what Kel-Tec did, and they're always pushing the envelope, is you don't have to reconfigure anything. You can shoot it right-handed or left-handed because the ejection port is basically at the rear of the rifle, and the spent brass comes out and down, kind of like the KSG does.
Right.
So,
I was going to say that's what the KSG does. Yeah.
Yep. So they just released it. Don't get too excited, kids out there in the audience. You're not going to be able to find them when you hear this, but it's coming soon, and you're going to have sticker shock because we're like, oh, it's a Kel-Tec, so it must be like $190. No, not really.
Yeah, Kel-Tec, once they release something, it usually takes 2 years before they get to
Well, actually, Kel-Tec, if you don't know this, some of you guys might not know it, they actually just recently partnered with a company called Heiser Defense, and Heiser is making a lot of components for them so that they can do more assembly in Florida, which is what a lot of companies do when they grow. Is they partner with other companies to make their components, and so Heiser's got a really, really good reputation in the manufacturing industry for making high-end components and parts and machine parts. So that's going to help them start delivering more. And another thing, while we're on the radio, do we have time to talk about this?
We got plenty of time, man.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that I was talking with the folks at Kel-Tec about, and people get a lot of put out a lot of internet grief about, oh, that's great, but you can't find them, and blah, 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 and Kel-Tec needs to make more, and Kel-Tec, blah, blah, blah. Well, Kel-Tec they don't do dealer direct. Most firearms manufacturers do not sell direct to the dealers. In case you kids out there in the audience didn't know this, what most firearms manufacturers do is they sell them to distributors or wholesalers. And then your local, Bob's gun shop down on the corner, he doesn't order it from Kel-Tec or whomever. He orders it from, Talo, or he orders it from Ellett Brothers, or you name it.
Davidson's.
And so think about it like this. Once they ship them and they sell them to the distributors. Then the distributors decide, which Bob's gun shop gets them. Well, you know how people are. If you're servicing, let's say you're working for one of these distributors and you're servicing 50, 60 separate gun shops, and they're all screaming for KSGs, well, you're not going to tell them, no, you're not allowed to have any. You're going to say, I'll see what I can do. And then you get 50 of them, and you got 60 gun shops on your list, or even 100. And
wow,
once it leaves the factory, it's up to the distributors. But the distributors don't want to assume responsibility for it, and the gun shops don't want to assume responsibility for it. So the guy at your local shop's never going to be like, oh man, the distributor, blah blah. The distributor promised me, and the distributor's going to say, well, Kel-Tec promised me, and then they're like, well, it's because Kel-Tec's not making any guns. Dudes, they're making guns. Maybe they could make less popular guns so that you guys could be happy. But when you make some of the most popular products out there, people are going to want to buy them.
Talking about availability, the AR availability is starting to climb up a lot. And who's still making ARs a lot is Head Down Rifles. And who made a rifle custom for Talking Lead is Head Down. And
Head Down.
And by the way, we just happened to be giving one away.
Doing a giveaway. And everybody out there, we were going to talk about it at the beginning of the show, but we forgot. We are doing an AR giveaway. We've announced it on the show once. We put it on all our social media. If you go to our website and you click on the Rescue Ranch event, then go in there, click on the picture, takes you to a place where it's called the Rescue Ranch virtual event. You buy the tickets, which is 1 for $25.
3 for $60 or 6 for $100.
And those are entries into getting that.
Yeah, you donate $100, you get 6. You donate $60, you get 3. Donate $25, you get 1. Or any increment in between there, you could do that.
So I could get an AR for $25.
Not just an AR.
It's a Talking Lead custom
engraved with our logo.
Maybe that's why people aren't buying tickets,
and
it's got our
Cerakoted.
logo.
No, it's gonna have a cool, and I don't want to tell what kind of pattern it's going to be yet, but it's going to be.
Did you find out?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I dropped it off night before last.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. I hate it that we don't have pictures, but it's not going to be ready until like the day we leave.
But the reason we sound so passionate about it is we're not legally allowed to tell you how many have registered because that's an unfair advantage. But there's a handful of people, and a handful is not a lot that have registered.
Your chances are very good. That's all we're going to say.
Your chances are awesome right now. So if you go to our website, talkingled.com, click on the Rescue Ranch event, and then buy your tickets there, you have an incredible chance of winning an AR.
And we'll be drawing the winner February the 1st at the Locked and Loaded for Land Rescue Ranch event in Statesville, North Carolina. And, hey, if you want to come to that, tickets are available to that, too. It's a limited amount of people that can come, but we're having a steel target match competition. Smith & Wesson has donated like 3 or 4 guns for that, so first, second, and third place are going to get some awesome prizes. There's going to be silent auctions. There's going to be what else we have?
Competition shoot.
I just said that competition shoot. The silent auction, door prizes, all kinds of stuff. There's going to be celebrities there. There's going to be Marcus Fox is going to be performing. It's going to be an awesome time. Ryan Newman, he and Chrissy are the founders of this organization. They're going to be there, so there's no telling what other NASCAR guys are going to be there. And he also does an outdoor channel show, too, so there'll probably be some surprise guests there, too.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How about Buck Daniels, country music sensation?
Buck Daniels is going to make a surprise appearance.
Buck Daniels very well make.
Buck Daniels, country music sensation, is going to be there.
Yes, he's going to make a surprise appearance. Surprise.
We'll be looking for him.
So now back to the Kel-Tec. Sorry, you said availability, and I just had to ramble.
One more thing before I think I figured it out. I think that people are embarrassed to be buying a ticket from Talking Lead and affiliating their name with it. So in that case, listen, you can buy a ticket from Talking Lead and put Jared Markle on the ticket. Anybody that's listening, you have my permission to do that.
Very good. Very good. And you're not buying a ticket, you're donating. And by donating, you get a chance to win the AR.
Exactly.
Get an entry. There you go.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
So back to the Kel-Tec. I think we can all agree that the something special that Red Jacket made is absolutely
back up.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, but back up. I want to go back to Paul and talking about this bullpup. This is completely different than their RFB.
Yeah.
Yes, completely different than the RFB.
Because RFB is 7.62, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the RFB 7.62. We shot it.
Yeah, we shot it.
Cool.
Yeah, the RFB actually is rifle forward ejecting bullpup. Yeah, and that brass actually comes out of the front. It doesn't. People's like, well, it shoots out. Like, no, the brass just kind of falls out the front. Yeah. But this one, the M43, it's going to be pretty interesting. And it's actually it's a very slender, ergonomic gun. It's every once in a while you'll get a bullpup and it's kind of thick. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a bulky or a thick deal.
What does that mean? You know what we're talking about? It's kind of thick.
Well,
Oh, yeah, they know.
You should know. But anyway, we've got one. We're on the list. As soon as we get our paws on one, we're going to review it for Student of the TV, and we'll let you guys know.
And you're going to invite us down, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You're always invited down. It's open invitation.
Dude, I am a huge Kel-Tec fan. As most of our listeners know, I've got a couple of the sub 2000s. I've got the PLR 16. I'm jonesing to get the KSG now since what we found out that Red Jacket is made for it.
Which is another time that we're going to come down and we're all going to go there together, right?
Absolutely. You guys need to come down. You can stay on the Gulf Coast. We'll go over there, or we'll just all stay in Baton Rouge.
Heck yeah.
But if you go to our YouTube page, there's actually an interview we did with Joe and Zach from Red Jacket. And it is their KSG suppressor, which they haven't really come up with a name yet. I still like their Tombstone name that they said.
Yeah, I think we talked them into doing the Tombstone. Yeah,
yeah, because the front of it looks kind of like a tombstone. And there goes the phone.
Is that Buck Daniels? He's getting ready to sing.
Yeah, he's warming up his fiddle.
Yeah, I didn't.
You guys don't. We didn't talk about this because we just didn't have time, but. Actually, right before Christmas, I was over there talking to Zach. We were in the Red Jacket shop. That's when we were testing out the TACCON trigger. We went over there and we went in their test tunnel, and we were back in the Zach's little shop of horrors there. He's got this Zach Hall he's kind of a suppressor genius. He's a mechanical engineer, and he's really doing some neat stuff there with Red Jacket Firearms.
And he's from here in Tennessee.
Yeah, and he had he's got this silver aluminum looking, contraption, and he said, and I was like, okay, what is this? And he's like, he said, that's the KSG suppressor. I'm like, really? Let's go right now. So we went over to the test tunnel and we got to test it. The problem, well, it's not a problem, but something that people need to realize with the larger the bore diameter on a rifle or pistol or whatever, the more gas is escaping out of the bore. So it's very difficult to, technically suppress a shotgun because you have that big monster bore and a lot of that gas is just getting out. That's why suppressed 45s are louder, apples to apples than 9mm or 22s. But Winchester actually is making a subsonic load. It's
That's
like
what
a
he was
900.
telling us.
Yeah, 990 feet per second subsonic load. So I think the way they've got it set up, I think between them and Kel-Tec, they got something really cool going on, something that a lot of KSG owners, law enforcement agencies, what have you, are really going to be interested in. And the way that they're mounting it, it's a mounting bracket. It doesn't screw on. They make a dedicated bracket that goes on the front of the gun.
On. Yeah, it's cool.
And you just clip it up on there, and it stays in place.
And they also have, with that clip, you can put different muzzle brakes and breechers and things like that on there too. So they're
doing
cool.
some really cool stuff there.
Oh yeah, they're brilliant guys.
And then they also had that suppressor for the Tavor.
Yep, the Tavor, and then the modular system for the Tavor too.
Tavor.
It's the
Tavor.
T didn't like stress.
That Scotch got your tongue, didn't it?
Scottish tongue. And then the KSG suppressor on there, it doesn't look like a suppressor. It looks like it's part of the rifle. It just makes it longer. Almost looks like, what did you say? It was like a stormtrooper blaster or something like that?
Yeah. Very futuristic looking.
Hey, Jared, where can they see a picture of that?
At talkingled.com.
On our Instagram?
On both our Instagrams.
And Facebook.
It just depends on who you want to look at. If you want to look at Paul and Jared, you go to the Student of the Gun one. If you want to look at Left Hand, you go to the Instagram one. I'm not on the Instagram one with the Kel-Tec. That's just Left Hand in that one.
Well, we got a video. We got a whole video on it.
Let's be honest here. Who's the best looking out of all four of us?
None of us.
Oh.
None of us.
You see where the kid went there?
Nobody's going to judge you guys for admitting it.
Okay, Paul.
I think there's only one of us in this group that is single still.
I was going to go with
true.
Buck Daniels.
Yeah, I was going to say, so out of the five of us, Buck Daniels.
Buck Daniels, yeah, would be. He's the one.
You know what people are doing right at this very second?
Googling Buck Daniels?
Googling Buck Daniels, that's right.
Maybe we should do that and
We
see
should
who
start
comes
posting
up.
some stuff on there. Watch it be like some crazy porn star or something.
No. Back to the show floor.
Back to
There's got to be
Kel-Tec.
more stuff
Yes.
that was.
There is a buckdaniel.com.
King's Arsenal. What is it? Wait, we found a buckdaniel.com.
American Quarter Horse Association.
Oh, okay. It wasn't too bad then.
But it's not Buck Daniels.
That's true.
We need to get buckdaniels.com and then link it to our website.
I'm going to make that website, and I'm going to put pictures of Left Hand up there.
You better not.
It'll be like Garth Brooks' alter ego. What was his name?
Oh, yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
What was that? Chris something, wasn't it?
No, that's Chris Ledoux, what you're thinking of. Or no, maybe it was. Let's see.
Garth Brooks' alter ego.
He was called...
Chris Gaines?
Yes. Chris Gaines.
Oh, good catch.
Was a fictional alternative rock persona created as an alter ego for Garth Brooks.
It was horrible.
that was some crazy psycho stuff.
What was horrible was he actually he went into costume on it too.
Did the Bieber haircut, thinking it was alternative.
And the little flavor saver.
The flavor saver?
Below his
the
lip.
soul patch?
Yeah, the little soul patch.
Did you really just call that a flavor saver on the air?
Yeah. That's what they're called.
A soul patch is like a beard's crap.
Isn't that the new cool thing or something?
A soul patch?
If
Yeah,
your name is
2008.
Gaines. Yeah.
From like the 90s. So King's Arsenal has a new 50 BMG sniper rifle that...
You need to do some clarifying because we've got a lot of people torn up over
Well, I know, and I'll clarify it, but I'll also say what they said. They said they can guarantee one MOA at 100 yards, but it's a 50 BMG. You don't use a 50 BMG at 100 yards. And whoa, what was that? And their groups get tighter the farther out you go. And they said they have seen quarter MOA at a mile with that rifle.
But if you do the calculation on that, a quarter MOA at a mile is more like, 6-7 inches? So that's not unreasonable.
People were thinking, as it was said, a quarter MOA at a mile. They're thinking
They're
quarter
thinking
of an
of
inch
a quarter,
groups at a mile. But it's still impressive either way. Yeah. And for them to be coming out with another 50 BMG sniper rifle that's that accurate, that was impressive. And it's a slick looking gun too. It's got the did it have a fluted barrel? Yeah, it had a fluted barrel.
Yeah, it did. Yep. Yeah, it was. I mean, for a 50 BMG, it was heavy, but it was still light.
Right, it was lighter than the other ones.
It was manageable.
Who was it?
And
King's Arsenal out of Texas.
Who's the Canadian guy who had the longest sniper kill?
I can't even remember his name.
You guys know who I'm talking about?
I'm guessing we lost Dad.
We lost Paul. Anyway, he had taken it up to that guy to do some testing. He's telling us.
Yep.
And got the thumbs up from him.
Yep. He liked him a lot.
And that might have been the guy who was doing the quarter MOA stuff too.
Yeah. There's Paul's back, huh?
Did you go get a burrito, dude?
Hey guys.
There he is. How was your Taco Bell?
I'm here. No, I was gone. Actually, I had to take a leak.
Okay, that works too.
You better leave one to run.
You were on a roll. You were on a roll, and I didn't want to stop you.
We asked you a question, and you weren't there, so we were just kind of like, oh well.
But you asked me.
We asked if you knew the name of the Canadian sniper that held the record for the longest sniper kill.
I did at one time. I don't remember now.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got the Google here. Let's pull it up.
But yeah, that rifle was cool. Then they've got some other ARs that they're coming out with that are pretty slick. And I'm trying to think of what else. Wow, I mean, there was tons of stuff that wowed us there.
I'm telling you, you know what wowed me?
What?
Were the people. And even at the big companies, everybody was just so hospitable, cordial, nice, just welcoming to us.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can't think of one person that was a
yeah.
Except
for Paul wrestling his microphone.
You got your microphone on your armpit?
It's probably like catching on his beard or something.
His Flava Sava?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Rob Furlong is the Canadian's name.
Rob Furlong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob Furlong.
There you go. That's it. Yeah. But speaking of 50 caliber rifles, did we talk about the Serbu rifles yet?
No, not yet.
There's a company out of Florida that's been just cranking them out, making 50 caliber semi-automatic rifles called Serbu, S-E-R-B-U. It's actually the owner's name. This is his last name. And they've got the semi-auto magazine fed 50 cals, but they also have single action or single shot bolt action 50 cals as well.
Hey, that's the guy that made that little shorty shotgun, isn't it? The Serbu.
Yeah, the little shorty.
Yeah, I knew I heard that name before. Yeah.
And they converted it with, was it called Black Aces, Jared? The Black Aces receiver?
I'm not sure. Aces is in there.
I think it's Black Aces, but I think or Ace of Spades. Is it Ace of Spades lower? We're gonna have to Google that. But essentially, it is a shot. I got to duck it. That's right. Essentially,
Black
it is
a tactical.
Black Aces Tactical. There you go. It accepts the Sega magazines. So you can feed your pump action 870 with Sega magazines.
Wow.
Or Saiga.
There's a picture of that on our Instagram too. Just saying.
Hey, Jared, you want somebody to go look at your Instagram page?
I would talk lead in it. Somebody's got to look at it.
And where's Jared? Who's holding that little shorty shotgun?
Little Red Danger.
Not you. Little Red Danger. Yes, there's actually some attractive women on our Instagram, not just ugly bearded men.
Now you're appealing to our listeners.
There you go.
You'll get some of them over there now.
What did y'all see not firearm that you liked?
Oh, the new kits, the new Duracoat kits that they're selling. Oh, geez. Steve Lyle at Duracoat. We've talked about this a little bit before, but when we talked about the new Duracoat in the can, did we talk about that on the radio?
No, we talked about it in person.
No, but we did talk about Dick in the Box.
Well, we've got the Duracoat in a can. They've got the aerosol can, and it has the hardener and the color, and you can, Duracoat whatever you want. But what he's doing now is he's selling actually a blister pack kit, and it has a small can of their Dura Strip degreaser, and then whatever color you want, the green or the black or the gray or the brown or whatever.
Or the pink.
Yeah, or the pink if you want to go there. But I that's genius, because how many guys out there, you got a $300 shotgun and you're thinking, man, I'd like to refinish that, but I'm not shipping it away. I'm not spending a bunch of money on it. I mean, it's only a $300 shotgun. When you buy one of these kits, you can use that stripper, that, you know, the Dura Strip or whatever it's called, to get that 29 years worth of Hoppe's number 9 off of that gun before you put the Duracoat on it, because it does you absolutely no good to refinish a gun or Duracoat a gun if you still got Rem oil all over it. So strip it all the way down to the bare metal or the bare wood or the bare plastic or what have you, and then use the Duracoat can. You go on there online. He's got a quick how-to instructions. I mean, you could read the back of the can, but he's also got a video. Dude, it's genius. People are going to be refinishing their $300 rifles and $300 shotguns all over the nation now, in their garages and their workshops and what have you. That's probably one of the smartest products that I've seen recently, and it's from Duracoat. So check that out.
What was the price point on that?
The base cans, like for a single color, is like $30-some.
Yeah.
So think about it. Rather than boxing it up and shipping it off, or paying your your nearest custom guy, $150, $200, you can redo your gun for $35. Yeah,
not too bad at all.
No, not too shabby. I mean, let's face it. Look in your safe. Is there anything in there you're like, man, I'd like to redo that, but
everything.
Nah, I don't want to go through all the hassle of shipping it away and then getting it back and having to, because most of the time when you ship stuff away to these guys, it has to go back to your FFL holder. That's kind of like, people are like, no, you don't. He can send directly out to you. I'm like, yeah, call up the ATF and ask the agent. It's like calling an IRS agent. You call 10 agents and you get 10 different answers. I've gotten the same thing from ATF. Some of them are like, oh, it's no big deal. And the other one's like, absolutely not. It has to go through an FFL holder. So the more you can keep your guns in your own hands, I think the better. I'm not telling you don't ship them off to get repaired, but at the same time, if you could get it refinished locally, or inexpensively, drive on.
Well, I mean, $35, that's not bad. And you know what you can get for cheaper than $35? A ticket to win an AR.
That's going to be Cerakote.
That's right.
That's going to have a $300 Cerakote job, yeah.
It's going to have a $300 Cerakote job, absolutely.
Yep.
So it's about a $1,200 rifle you're going to get.
Well, the engraving was another $200.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So you're looking at about a $1,400 rifle.
Let's call it $1,300.
Yeah, that you can get for $25 if you just buy one ticket.
Or you could buy,
and your chances are
$100
awesome.
And get it for less than $20 a chance.
That's true.
But I always like using. Have you guys ever used McNett, the camo form?
Yeah. I
love that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's pretty ingenious.
I think it's hilarious because coming from the sports medicine world, all it is Coban. We use that to wrap ankles all day long.
Exactly,
and they just made it camouflage.
It's camouflage Coban.
And you wrap it on your gun, and if you want a different camo, you take that off, put the other one on, and boom, you got it just like that.
How much do they charge for a roll?
It's like you can find them for $12.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but they're making.
But dude, I found the honeypot of McNett camo form one day. They had them for 99 cents a roll.
See, the cost on those, well, not on McNett, but the cost on regular Coban is only about $1.
Yeah.
So if they're getting $12 for them just for the big camo, they're making some dough.
They're making some serious jack. And I wanted to go by their booth. Did you guys get a chance to go by there? I didn't.
We passed it like 3 or 4 times.
I know, and I wanted to stop every time, but we were late.
Did y'all meet the Bond Arms people? The little Derringer company?
Oh, yeah.
We've known them.
We're familiar with them.
They are awesome people. I mean, I went as a joke because my family's my wife's maiden name is Bond. And I went to kind of get some pictures and stuff, but then we started talking to them, and those are neat little pistols.
Was Amy down there?
Yes.
Oh, that's what made it so awesome.
She's cool.
Yeah.
She's nice.
She is awesome.
She's a nice woman.
Amy was the bomb.
Yes, she was. They make little Derringers that they call pocket cannons. Or hand cannons, that's what they were called.
Hand cannon.
And they can shoot up to a 410 shotgun shell in them. 45 long Colt, 45 ACP. And then they've got a new one was it a polymer grip? But then it still had the interchangeable barrels. That little one. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ouch.
The smallest, most powerful, best built personal protection handgun you can carry. Made in Texas by Texans.
That's right. The stainless steel guns are we've used them on the show previously, and they're very, very well built. They're not like a lot of the stuff you get today. It's just, polymer this and polymer that, and it's just cobbled together. The Bond Arms guns they're meticulously well made out of stainless steel. So they're serious guns. And if any of your listeners have any familiarity, or our listeners, with the old Davis Derringers and kind of those cheap pot metal Derringers from the 80s, unfortunately, that's the fight that they're kind of, that's what they're up against at Bond Arms, because people in the 80s, they had these cheap pot metal Derringers, and people think that that's what all Derringers are about, because that's was their experience with them, and they're not that at all.
No.
So if you're in the market for a Derringer, that Bond Arms is a good place to go look.
Yeah. And the brilliance of putting a trigger guard on a Derringer, too. Most of the old Derringers didn't have trigger guards, and, let's face it, they could be a little dangerous if you threw them in your pocket with nothing there.
What's cool is that you can interchange those barrels, so you got 20 interchangeable barrels and 25 different calibers that you can choose from.
Yep.
Well, it's basically the contender version of a Derringer. It's like the Thompson Contender version of a Derringer.
It's a hell of a lot better. And we try not to bash any companies, and I'm not really going to bash a company, but I just don't see the sense in the double tap guns. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't get it. They don't look. They're not comfortable to hold.
Let's just not go there.
I don't know
enough about them. So.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe they'll send us some free stuff.
Maybe
I wouldn't put money on it, but
yeah.
It almost seems to me like they're kind of capitalizing on
your
the popularity
of the name
double
stuff?
tap. Using the double tap terminology.
Could be.
But I've never shot it, so I can't say anything about how they shoot. I just think they look weird.
Right. So, did we get to your favorite non-firearm thing that you saw?
No, I don't think. Non-firearm thing that we saw. I would have to go with my Savoy leather holster. Did we introduced y'all to Jeremiah Savoy, didn't we?
No.
Oh, crap.
Nice. Real nice.
Okay, we got to. We'll make that connection.
Jared on the way out.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Okay. Anyways, this guy makes leather holsters, custom leather holsters, and they're like works of art. Unbelievable stuff. And he made me one with Ron Burgundy on it, and it says "Stay classy, talking lead," and it's awesome. So
wait a sec. Yeah, I think you did.
You could go to SavoyLeather.com and check out all the stuff he's got, but just unbelievable stuff, and he does it all by hand too. And they're literally works of art. What was your?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him.
Yeah, see, that's what we introduced
after the show.
Jared just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said. I thought you said something else.
Mine would be
That's what I'll blame it on.
Miltac knives. I mean, they've got some very
Those
cool
are nice
knives. Yeah, they're probably some of the coolest knives that I saw there.
Have y'all seen Miltac, their knives?
No.
I'm familiar with them.
Yeah. Nice stuff, like solid knives. And then they can actually, if you have a 1911, they can do grips that match your knife handles.
They've got them for SIGs too.
And SIGs too?
Yeah, they've got handles for SIGs too.
Oh, speaking of SIG, I'm glad you dropped that there, Buck Daniels.
Yeah.
Did you guys get over to the SIG booth and see their extended line of SB-47 stabilizer pistols?
No, but we did see the freaky deaky 1911 carvings.
Oh, dude. We talked about this before. Yeah. They last year they released the M400 pistol with the stabilizer, just one. Well, it went so well for them that now what they have, Jared, 4 or 5 new variants.
Really?
Yep.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've got my own.
You got your own now?
Well, I have a AR pistol, and I bought one of their stabilizing braces, and I put it on my AR pistol.
Excellent.
Heck yeah, man! And it is awesome. I mean, it's the most comfortable.
Yeah,
thing.
They had a 9mm pistol version, and then they also have a 10-inch barreled pistol version, which I prefer. I think actually over the 7. The 7-inch 7-inch guns are pretty brutal. They're pretty brutal externally and internally. Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's actually what Zach Hall's been using to test their new suppressors over there at Red Jacket. You know that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a 7-inch barreled gun with a selector on it, with a full auto selector, and that's what he's been using to torture test their new suppressor to see how many thousands and thousands of rounds it'll take.
That's cool.
So, but
a 10 and a half inch.
Yeah, 10 and a half inch barrel, but really cool stuff over there from SIG. Now, all right, guys, I'll let you think about it for a little bit, but not everything at SHOT Show is genius, and not everything is the greatest idea. Every once in a while, you run into the "what were you possibly thinking?" Now, I'll go ahead and start it out. And while I'm talking about this, you guys dig into the recesses of your brains there and think if you could come up with something. And these two items I was actually not aware of. Apparently, they were promoting them at the show, but I did not see them because I didn't even see. I maybe saw 25% of the entire show. And these are, I was made aware of one because of the other. Well, apparently there's a company out there called X. I'm not going to say their name, but they're making base pad replacements for the Glock pistols. And they take off the base plate and replace it with theirs. And it has a carbide steel, like, cone in the bottom. So that's not really so much a spike, but like a cone in the bottom of the pad.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a demo video where they've got a guy in a junkyard, and he pulls his pistol out, and he starts using the butt of a Glock pistol.
I did see that.
To smash out windows. Then it gets even crazy. First, he's holding it in a normal grip, but he's swinging it, smashing out these windows. Then he reverses it, holds it like a hammer, and is smashing glass out with the gun in a reverse grip. Brothers and sisters, this is, folks and children of all ages, this is an absolutely horrible idea. Do not do that. Now you say, well, Paul, I'm going to red flag you because you guys demonstrated one where you break windows with it. Yeah. And the spike part is on the front, on the dangerous end. So you know where you're pointing the dangerous end all the time. With this base pad thing, you're flagging the gun all over God's green earth. And then the dude reverses it and uses it like a hammer so the muzzle is pointing directly back at him.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely terrible. And so we commented about that on our social media. And somebody trumped me. They're like, if you think that's stupid, watch this link.
Is that the one with the knife?
The knife.
Yes,
yeah.
I saw the knife.
Where they replaced the base pad with some kind of a mounting bracket, and you can put like a mini bayonet on the base of your pistol.
And wasn't it like a switchblade too?
Like it's a fixed blade. Okay. If you look close, it's like in a sheath, and you take your pistol and you come back and you clip it in and you pull it out. Now the blade is stuck to the base of your magazine. All right, does anyone out there know how you clear a Type 1 or a Type 2 stoppage on a pistol?
You cut your fingers off. That's how you do it.
You stab yourself in the hand.
And someone told me that
it gives you a better grip on
of the show. And folks, that's just beyond horrible. It's one of the stupidest things I think I've ever seen.
They must have had those guys in the basement.
Well, maybe that's the intention. To get a better tap, you actually want to stab your hand so you have a better grip on the mag.
Impale your hand on a blade in the oh my God. And then in order to use it, you have to wave the muzzle end in all kinds of strange, unpredictable directions.
Unsafe directions, yeah.
And that's the video where the guy was like stabbing 2x4s and stuff.
Stabbing the door frame and oh my Lord, God in heaven, please stop. It's like the was it the Son of Sam? Stop me before I kill again. Before I do something even stupider.
Yeah. So. I think mine. I wouldn't really bash somebody for this because I know there's people that have more money than they know what to do with, so they get display pieces like this. But did y'all see the custom 1911s I talked about in the SIG booth?
No.
There was one. If you go to our Instagram page, I've got a picture of it on there. It was all ornately engraved. The hammer was a bear claw coming out, and then on top of the slide was this giant silver bear that had been carved out, and like you couldn't get a sight picture because the bear is right there on top of the slide, and it was the craziest looking
maybe
thing.
They had holes in the eyes so you could see through.
I don't think there were holes.
Or maybe the mouth was open and you could see through the mouth.
But it was just kind of like, I know it was just a display piece. It's not going to be something you use to defend yourself with. But geez, I just saw it and I was like, why? Why would you do that?
SIG's got like a whole line of very ornate engraved.
And some of them are
guns.
still practical. I've seen the practical ones, but this one was like, whew, it was way out there.
Yeah. Yeah, but that goes like you said. Some people got more money than they got
Sense.
Yeah.
Well, and if you want to own a piece of art, fantastic.
All right, that's what it would be.
That kind of gun will never be shot. It's like the old back in the the 70s and 80s when you had these custom engraved Smith & Wesson pistols where they would gold inlay the engraving. Those guns were never intended to be shot. I accidentally can I tell on myself?
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
I was in a shop and a guy, he's like, "Oh, you want to see what I just picked up?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So he reached under the counter and he sets this oak presentation box or maple or whatever it was, and he opens it and it's got a velvet lining and it's got a deep blue steel engraved. It was like some Smith & Wesson, like a L frame or something. So I'm like, okay. So I scoop it up. I put, and just reflexively, because I haven't been handling this gun, so I don't know if it's loaded, I pop the cylinder and I go to, roll the cylinder out to make sure it wasn't loaded. And he's like, "Stop!" He said, "That cylinder's never been rotated."
Oh, my gosh.
No.
And I'm like, well, first I'm like, okay, well, I'll just set it down now. But second of all is, excuse me, it's never been rotated. So that means after it was worked on and assembled, it was never test fired.
Wow.
According, so like that's, he's like, "Oh, you don't have any idea how much that's worth." I'm like, it's really pretty, but it's completely, I mean, if you want to put it in a case on your mantle and look at it and, rub it with an oily rag once in a while,
Yeah.
drive on. But
Well,
my guns are for shooting, not for looking at.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the striker fire
SIG.
that SIG has out now, the P320.
Did y'all shoot it?
No.
No, we didn't either. I'll be.
Can't talk about it. I mean, and it looks cool.
I mean, it looks like a, what was it, 250?
It's like a SIG without a hammer.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. A hammerless SIG.
It's interesting.
Yeah, the P320. And then did you guys check out the Remington, was it the R51?
Oh, we're familiar with it. I didn't. The truth be told, I don't even get into the Remington booth. It's like I just don't even go in there.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said. I mean, you don't get a chance to see everything, so you guys kind of got to be picky and choosy where you go and what you see. Because we were there from Sunday to Thursday, and we didn't get to see a quarter of everything.
Yeah, it was insane. And these booths, they cost as much as my house. Some of these booths did.
Oh, some of them $1 million.
Oh, wow. And they had offices up in the upper levels and stuff because they were selling. I mean, there's a lot of big deals that go down at SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there anything y'all want to plug real quick before I start rapping?
Okay, well, we always want to thank our sponsors. We spent some time with our good friends at XS Sights, and that's actually where we got to put our hands on the little Glock, because they had a little baby Glock down there, a mini Glock with some XS Sights on it, so that's already ready to go.
What sights they put on it?
The big dot.
Okay.
The XS Express sights. And they didn't have a booth there. Crossbreed didn't have a booth, but Trent Cooper was walking around. I got a chance to talk to Trent a little bit. If you haven't been to Crossbreed's website lately, they've got a lot of new products out, both for men and women. So you want to go to crossbreedholsters.com and check them out. And also Colt. This might surprise some of you guys, but Colt, in addition to all the other stuff that they make, they partnered with another manufacturer, and they're selling bolt action 308 precision rifles under the Colt moniker now, under the Colt name. So, and we actually shot some footage for the TV show and featuring those rifles. So look for those in the very near future.
As far as trivia goes, we're still 3 reviews on iTunes away. We've got 97 reviews. So once we hit that 100, we will get together that prize pack, send it to the winner that we draw, and then we'll go back to trivia. But right now,
better hurry up because I'm going to go make three iTunes accounts.
3 reviews.
I don't remember.
Did we do a trivia?
Even if they're stinky reviews, if they say that you guys are what's our favorite, Jared? You're juvenile and sophomoric.
We had that. I wonder if it's the same guy that said we were sophomoric back in the beginning.
Well, actually, this is our sophomore year.
It is. So we're allowed to be sophomoric.
We can't be sophomoric. We just started our sophomore year.
John, did you? What was hilarious? No, but the same week that we got the juvenile and sophomoric comment. That was the comment was, you're, blah, 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 and you're juvenile and sophomoric, and I prefer to get my firearms radio from Gun Talk, and that was the week that I guest hosted Gun Talk.
Did you bring it up?
Let it go. I just thought maybe that gentleman was out there and he was listening to Gun Talk that week when I hosted.
So that's good because you get me there too, buddy.
Yeah, Tom Gresham is a good friend of mine, and Gun Talk is an excellent show.
Outside of the trivia, there's also another contest that some friends of ours over at Glock contacted us and wanted us to kind of push. They are doing I don't know how many of you out there have seen their wrong place videos, where one of them is a diner and Arlie Ermy is the cook back there, and then two robbers come in and they're like, give me all your money. And all of a sudden, everyone in the diner turns around with a Glock pointed at them, and Arlie Ermy turns around and goes, wrong diner. So they're doing a contest for everybody to submit wrong blank whatever contest. So you do a contest showing the bad guys coming into
wrong
whatever.
Place videos.
Wrong place videos. So if you want it to be a basketball game, and it's a basketball game where the special forces are on a team and they all turn around with Glock, whatever, but it's a Glock commercial you're making, and they're going to pick the winner, and the winner is going to actually get their commercial produced in Hollywood,
and they get $5,000
and $5,000. So we're going to post
a chance
link
to fly
to
out there and watch them film it.
Yep, we're going to post the link to that under the news section in our website.
Yeah,
you can also go to Glock.com,
but you can go to http://bit.ly/1DWTS.
He does this all the time.
KG.
Please stop.
To enter the contest.
I've tried to get him. He won't. He loves doing it.
Listen, people can hit pause and rewind to get
over and over and over
and they'll
over.
do it too.
417-8.
We'll post it on our Facebook too. So we'll post it a few different places so you have a link to go do that. So there's that contest. And we posted on Facebook this week that we finally got our T-shirts made. So if you go to our website, go to the shop section, you can buy those T-shirts on there.
Go to Facebook. There's links there.
Yep.
Twitter,
and they're pretty slick
Instagram.
T-shirts. I'm actually wearing one right now, and they're comfortable. It's that thinner, real soft cotton material, and they're nice shirts.
Do Zeke and Left Hand have Student of the Gun T-shirts?
We were told we were going to have them about 4 or 5 months ago.
I don't know if that was that long ago. Actually, somebody said, "Well, I'm gonna order a PLS," and I told the shipping department to wait until the PLS order came in and then throw the shirts in there.
Oh, gotcha.
And it never came through. I don't know if it came through or not. So I'll have to check with the shipping department and find out.
No, it didn't come through yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So I don't need to follow the shipping guy?
No, you don't need to find out. But, yeah, you can get shirts off our website without ordering a PLS.
Oh, really? Okay. I got you.
No PLS need.
But we want to thank our sponsors, too. We've got...
and we ran into them at SHOT Show, too. Yeah.
Who?
Our sponsors.
Oh, yes, we did.
Really? That's crazy talk.
So we've got US Elite Gear, us-elitegear.com. Enter the code TALKINGLEAD at checkout for a discount.
ICE Training. That's ICEtraining.us. It's our buddy Rob Pincus, which we had a great time at the show with him. Thank you, Rob, for introducing us to all the guys and gals that you introduced us to.
Also, All or Nothing Tattoo Studio. That's allornothingtattoo.com, and their gun-friendly merchandise store, strangleholdmerch.com.
Holder and Green Professional Real Estate Services, HG Press, for all your Middle Tennessee real estate needs. Get in touch with those guys. You can call them at 1-800-615-1840, extension 2222. Not pew, 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 pew. It's 2222.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Pew, pew, pew.
And, of course, if you go to our website and you click on Rescue Ranch Event, what can you do there, Left Hand?
Well, by golly, you've got a chance to win a customized, engraved, and Cerakoted AR-15 from Head Down rifles.
$1,300 value that you can win for anywhere from $25 to
less than
$20.
Yep. Depending on the increments that you do.
And your odds are awesome right now, so go do it.
Do it. Do it. Make us look good. So they'll invite us back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jared, what do you need to say, Jared?
I was just going to ask. Well, we're wrapping up now, but I wanted to ask you guys if we have time to have one more conversation.
Son of a. Yes, go ahead.
We will converse.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dad, me, and Zach, my brother, were going out to eat the other night, and we pulled up at the restaurant we were going to go to. We walked up to the door, and there was a sign that said no firearms or weapons. So we, as the people that we are, we didn't go in there and give this business our money.
But you know what you did do? You posted a picture on Instagram.
Yeah. See, you follow the Instagram.
See?
I'm glad.
I told you.
That makes two people.
So you're going to out this company?
I want to know give the listeners some advice. If they walk up to a store that has this sign on there, what should they do?
Walk away.
But
don't just walk away.
Yeah, that doesn't help educate the business.
Yeah, Jared only told part of the story. We went inside, and they said party of 3, and I said, actually, no, it's going to be party of 0. I said, we saw your sign out front, and we've decided not to patronize your establishment. Have a nice night.
Yeah.
And there was only like 2 tables in there that were taken. So
there was a card I saw someone make. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
Well, you're talking to me
Paul.
about letting people finish?
Yeah.
Mr. Interruption King?
Who do I interrupt?
Everyone.
Second fight of the year. It's season 2.
We have those cards. We have the no guns, no money cards.
Maybe it was y'all that we got that from.
I don't know.
Is it like really professionally worded? Like,
well, yeah, there's lots of them out there. A lot of the state concealed carry organizations have made them up. And it's essentially, you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be nasty. When you go in, say, I just want to let you know that I will not be patronizing your store, and this is why.
Yeah.
And I actually went to pick up a bottle of Johnny Walker Double Black because a new friend had actually recommended that I pick up the Double Black. And so I walked up to this liquor store, and I saw the sign, and I thought, well, forget it. I'll just go somewhere else. No, I'll go in. So I walked inside, and I asked them where the Walker products were, and the lady pointed to them, and I asked if they had platinum, and she goes, oh, yeah, we have platinum in stock. And I went over and I looked at it, and I priced them, see how much they were going for. And she goes, you find everything you need? And I said, I sure did. I said, yep. I said, but I noticed your sign out front, and based upon that, I've decided not to spend any money here in your store. And I handed her a card, and you'd have thought I took a poop on the floor. she really got indignant. She looked at the card, she flipped it over once, twice. She goes, I don't want this, and she tossed it back at me. And I was like, well, I don't care if you really want it or not. She probably just thought she was going to, get herself a $105 sale on scotch, and she got a 0 sale.
Yeah.
But I went just actually across the highway to another place called Drinks, Drinx, in D'Iberville, Mississippi. And guess what? They don't have any signs up. So I bought my scotch from them, and it's really as simple as that. Let your money do your talking for you. Right. And you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be nasty. But just let them know. Say, hey, you've made a decision.
If you don't walk away, if you just walk away without letting them know that they lost business, then it doesn't really affect them.
And one thing that I've done before, I've only done it once, I need to do it more often, is there was a restaurant we went to, and it had the sign on there. And we didn't go in. I refused to go in. And we went across. It was actually in a mall where they had the restaurants catty-cornered to each other. The other restaurant in the mall did not have the sign. So we ate there. I left, walked over with the receipt, and handed it to the manager and said, this could have been yours, but because of that sign, I didn't spend my money here. And that was pretty effective.
Yeah, you got to let them know that they're losing business because of that.
Yeah, and one thing that I was enlightened to was that here locally in Biloxi, I guess the Biloxi police chief is one that came up with these stupid signs, but then they distributed them to all the businesses. Well, from what I was told, they made it sound like the businesses had to put them up if they served alcohol at all, not just if they're made
or if they even sold alcohol. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
Which is not the case.
So as an individual, you need to go into the business, and it's your responsibility to educate the business, on why you're not giving them your money, and maybe you could go a little bit farther and tell them, if you know the laws locally, then enlighten them, and maybe they didn't know them.
Well, and there's also businesses out there, for instance, Buffalo Wild Wings. They leave it up to the franchisee. And I was panicked when I walked up to a Buffalo Wild Wings because that's one of my favorite places to eat. And I saw the sign and I was like, no! One of those drop to my knees screaming moments.
Yeah.
But then Left Hand told me that the one in Murfreesboro didn't have the sign. Mm-hmm. And I checked. So we will drive 20 minutes to that Buffalo Wild Wings and not go to another one just because of that reason. Because the other one, the one in Murfreesboro is gun friendly.
Yeah, well, ours used to have a sign on there, but they took it down because literally I would like to think I had something to do with that, because every time I drove by there, I would stop and I would give them a card and say, this is why I'm doing this. Yeah. And it's not there anymore. So hopefully there was a bunch of people that did that. But anyway, that was, I just wanted to give the listeners some advice on what to do if they see a sign. Don't just walk away. Let them know that they lost your business or what they can do to.
Don't be one of these, empty SKS guys and use it as an opportunity to grandstand.
No.
That's what we don't need. We don't need you to go out there grandstanding. Just tell them, say, hey, this is money and you're not getting any of it. They're small businesses. They count their customers.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And you make a good point by going in there and letting them know instead of just walking away. Good advice. Good conversation, Jared.
Yeah. I was dreading talking longer, but hey, it paid off.
All right, remember, you're a beginner once, you should be a student for life.
And as always, Left Hand,
I am a student of the gun.
Yes. I'm Zeke with Talking Lead, and I am a student of the gun.
I'm Buck Daniels, country music superstar, and I am a student of the gun.
All right, now y'all got to do the keep your firearms closer. Well, actually, one of y'all, because y'all screwed it up like crazy last time. Paul, you do it.
Yeah.
All right, and as always,
the first part.
Huh?
Let's let them do the first part.
Y'all want to do the first part?
Keep your loved ones close.
Keep your friends close.
Keep your loved ones close.
They're gonna screw this up too.
Keep your loved ones close.
Yeah. So just say, and as always, Talking Lead.
No, as always, Jared. So Paul, you say, and as always, Jared.
And as always, Jared.
And in unison say, keep your loved ones close.
They can't do unison.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Hello.
There he is.
I hear you. I hear Buck Daniels.
Famous country music western singer star.
I think
Buck
I'm going to leave this whole cluster in the end of the show.
And I am a student of the gun.
Well, I heard a ding, and then I lost you guys. And now I hear you again.
So as always, Jared,
keep your loved ones close.
And keep your
firearms closer. You
and keep your fire. Say it again, Jared.
Paul's got to say it too.
3, 2. Keep your loved ones close.
And keep your firearms closer.
I'm leaving it.